I'd be delighted to have the pleasure of your company, provided...
Yippee!
I said provided you sit quietly in your chairs and don't fight or argue.
He says we can!
I said you may, sweetheart.
Good morning, Daddy.
Good morning, Dad.
Here's your cream, sir.
Thank you, Annie.
Take your pick. If you get the spoon, you get the dining room.
You mean you want to start here?
Gotta start somewhere.
You mean you want the dining room?
Yeah.
What happened to the stuff you had?
Jimmy took it. It was part of the settlement.
If you... She might.
In a condominium?
She might.
In Denver?
She just might, Arthur.
Good morning, Annie.
I don't want to fight. Which hand?
Are you planning to put it in storage?
Maybe.
I checked on that. That costs an arm and a leg.
So does shipping it to Denver.
Going to commandeer the dining room for the rest of the term.
It just sits here, Howard. It's never used.
What if we wanted to give a dinner party?
Since when have we given a dinner party?
What if we wanted to have a few people over for Christ's sake?
Then we can eat in the kitchen.
Oh, Jesus.
Everybody does it these days.
That doesn't make it right.
Let me get this done, Howard. Let me get a good grade, my master's degree, and a job so I can get out of here every day.
Fine, what the hell? Why don't I just turn it into a tool room every night?
Everyone gets acquainted?
Really?
Oh, heavens, yes. It starts the whole thing off on the right foot.
I didn't know that.
You see why we shouldn't make hasty decisions?
Then maybe I won't go at all.
Don't be silly.
Maybe I'll skip all the junior assemblies.
Oh, Carolyn,
I don't like dancing school anyways.
that's nonsense.
I don't. I've never liked it. I'm bigger than half the boys and I spend most of the time in the ladies' room.
Don't be silly.
It's true, Mother. St. Joan would go to dancing school in a million years.
Yes, and look what happened to St. Joan.
I don't care. I made up my mind.
You're obviously not old enough to make intelligent decisions.
I knew you would let me decide.
All right then, decide. I'd like to, but first, let me tell you a little story about your dear Aunt Martha, who made a little decision when she was about your age. If you breathe a word of this, I'll strangle you. She decided she was in love with her riding master, and so she ran off to Taos, New Mexico, where your father had to track her down and drag her back. But it was too late, Carolyn. She had...
Fine room. Big room.
So you have to stay. Can't just leave people in the lurch.
Look at these French doors.
I'm looking. I'm also thinking about heat loss.
Never mind. The point is, Doctor, it's time to get rid of this room. Tell you frankly, I'm not interested in screwing around with any more of the maid rooms. I can do that in my sleep. What I want is a chance to get in here and open up your whole ground floor. Now what do you say?
I'll have to think about it.
Alright, take your time. Tell you what, I'll send you my bill for the work I've done so far.
Good. And I'll send you mine.
I didn't go away.
Yes, Graham.
Didn't even go to the country day. Went to the old PS 36 on Huron Street.
You told us, Graham.
Didn't finish either. Father died and I had to go to work. Had to support my mother.
Yes, Graham.
My father didn't go to school at all. Learned Greek at the plow.
You told us, Graham.
Yes, well, I didn't do too badly. Without some high Episcopal boarding school and an indoor hockey rink.
But you're a self-made man, Graham.
Oh, is that what I am? And what are you? Don't you want to be self-made? Or do you want other people to make you? What have you got to say to that?
I don't know.
Everyone wants to go away. Me, I went away twice. Took 2 vacations in my life. First vacation, took a week off from work to marry your grandmother. Went to Hot Springs, Virginia. Bought a stable. Second vacation, Europe, 1928.
I'm checking the joints here. It's all very sad, how things run down and fall apart.
I used to tell my husband, my ex-husband, we have such lovely old things, we should oil them, we should wax them, we should keep them up. But of course I couldn't do everything, and he wouldn't do anything. So now here you are to give us the coup de grace.
Hey, look at this.
What is it?
Look under here.
I don't dare.
I'm serious. Look.
Wait till I put on my glasses.
See this support?
In the air.
That was absolutely lovely.
Thank you, Mother.
But I've simply got to go home now. Would you call my carriage, please? And someone find my hat and gloves. It's very late, and my mother gets nervous if I'm not home in time for tea.
Look, Fred Ben will take her down and show her everything. The office complex where her house was, the new entrance to the throughway, the new Howard Johnson's motel, everything. She'll see there's nothing there at all.
I'll bring her car around.
I'll get her coat.
I'm coming too.
We'll just have to go through the motions.
Now? It's not even 5.
Then let's go see how the Red Sox are doing.
Daddy, stop.
Stop what?
Avoiding me. Ever since I've arrived, we haven't been able to talk.
Good Lord, what do you mean? Seems to me everyone's been talking continuously and simultaneously from the moment you got off the plane.
Alone, Daddy. I mean alone, and you know I mean alone.
All right, we'll talk. Right here in the dining room. Why not? Good place to talk. Matter of fact, I'm pretty tired. It's been a long day.
I love this room. I've always loved it. Always.
Your mother and I still use it now and then. Once a week, Mrs. Robinson comes and cooks us a nice dinner. Still, lamb chops,
I've left
broilers.
him, Daddy.
All right, a little vacation.
I've left him permanently.
Yes, well, permanently is a very long word.
I can't go back to him, Dad. We don't get along at all.
You may think that now.
Could we live here?
Here?
For a few months.
With 3 small children?
While I work out my life.
What time is it? A little after 5? I think the sun is surely over the yard darn by now, don't you? Or if it isn't, it should be. I think it's almost permissible for me and you to have a little drink, Meg.
Can we stay here, Dad?
Make us a drink, Meggie.
All right.
I like a scotch, sweetheart. Make it reasonably strong. You'll find the silver measuring gizmo in the drawer by the trays. I like 2 shots and a splash of water. And I like to use the glass with a pheasant on it and not too much ice.
All right.
I saw Mimi Mott the other day. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Dad.
There she was, with her 3rd husband, her 3rd, who's deaf as a post and extremely disagreeable. So I took her aside and I said, can you still hear me?
I'm listening, Dad.
I took her aside and I said, now Mimi, tell me the truth. If you had made half as much of an effort with your first husband as you made with the last 2, do you think you'd still be married to him? I asked her that, point blank. You know what Mimi said? She said, maybe. Maybe. That's exactly what she said. She had just made the effort.
That's your generation, Dad.
That's every generation.
It's not mine.
Every generation has to make an effort.
I won't go back to him, Dad. I want to be here.
I wanted a glass with a pheasant on it.
I think the children used it.
Oh.
So can we stay here, Dad?
I sleep in your room now. Your mother kicks me out because I snore, and we use the boys' room to watch TV.
I'll use the guest room.
And your children?
They can sleep on the 3rd floor in the maids' rooms.
We close them off because of the oil bills.
I don't care, Dad. We'll work it out, please.
Give it another try first.
No.
We'll sit with the children while you do.
I've got someone too, Dad.
You mean you've had a little fling?
I've been going with someone.
A little fling.
I've been living with him.
And where was your husband?
Oh, he stayed with his girl.
Sounds a little complicated.
It is, Dad. That's why I needed to come home.
Let's review the bidding, may we? You're not in love with this new man.
No.
Or your husband.
No.
And your husband's decided he loves someone else.
He lives with someone else.
And your children, my grandchildren, come and go among these various households.
Yes, sort of. Yes.
Sounds extremely complicated.
It is, Dad. It really is.
I think I'll get a repair. Would you like a repair? I'll take her glasses and get us both repairs.
Oh. Dad, I'm all mixed up. I'm all over the ballpark. I've been seeing a crisis counselor, and I'm taking a part-time job, and I've been jogging 2 miles a day. None of it's working, Dad. I want to come home. I want to take my children to the zoo and the park lake and the art gallery and do all of those things you and Mother used to do with us, Dad. I want to start again. I want to start all over again.
I made one for your mother, and I found the glass with a pheasant on it in the trash. Somebody broke it. Let's have a nice cocktail with your mother and see if we can have the children sit quietly while we do.
You don't want us here, do you, Dad?
Of course I do, darling. A week, 10 days, you're most welcome.
I can't go back.
Neither can I, sweetheart. Neither can I.